Good morning. As the first light of day breaks over a frosty landscape, it's the perfect time to start thinking about what the upcoming winter might have in store for us. As we look ahead to the winter of 2025-2026, let's talk about what could be a truly unique season, one that may surprise even the most seasoned weather watchers. This year, three major players are stepping onto the global weather stage: La Niña, the Pacific Blob, and the polar vortex. Each of these forces has the power to shape our winter in dramatic ways. La Niña is a cooling of the Pacific Ocean that disrupts weather worldwide, bringing colder and wetter conditions for some regions, while others may see warmer and drier spells. Its influence can be felt from North America to Asia, affecting everything from snowfall to storm tracks. The Pacific Blob, on the other hand, is a massive patch of unusually warm water in the northeastern Pacific. It pumps extra heat and moisture into the atmosphere, supercharging storms and sometimes leading to unexpected weather extremes along the west coast and beyond. Then there's the polar vortex, a swirling mass of frigid air high above the North Pole. When it weakens or shifts, it can unleash powerful Arctic blasts, sending bone-chilling cold far to the south and causing dramatic temperature drops. Each of these can shape winter on their own, but this year we're watching closely to see how they might interact, overlap, or even amplify each other's effects. Will they combine forces to deliver a super winter with record-breaking storms and deep freezes, or will their influences clash, creating wild swings between blizzards and sudden thaws? The possibilities are as fascinating as they are unpredictable. This is the complex puzzle meteorologists are piecing together right now, using advanced models and real-time data to make sense of the shifting patterns. The stakes are high: snow, rain, drought, and deep freezes all hang in the balance. Communities, farmers, and city planners are all watching closely, knowing that the outcome could impact everything from travel to crops to energy use. Understanding how these powerful forces work together is what makes this winter forecast so challenging, and, for weather enthusiasts, so exciting. It's a real-life mystery unfolding in the sky. So, what can we expect as these heavyweights take the stage and the season unfolds? Will we see a winter for the record books, or a season of surprises? Let's break down each one, explore their unique impacts, and see what clues they offer for the months ahead. Here's what you need to know to stay ahead of the weather this winter. What is La Niña? It's the cool phase of the El Niño Southern Oscillation, or ENSO. Strong trade winds push warm Pacific water west, letting cooler water rise near South America. This cooling shifts the Pacific jet stream north, steering storms and weather systems. For North America, La Niña usually means colder, wetter winters in the Pacific Northwest and Rockies, great for ski resorts. Meanwhile, the southern U.S. often gets warmer, drier weather, which can worsen droughts. La Niña events aren't on a set schedule, but they typically show up every 2 to 7 years and can last 1 to 3 winters. The result? A tale of 2 winters, wet and cold up north, mild and dry down south. All of this is driven by that cool Pacific water. It's a global phenomenon with very local consequences, and this year, it's just one piece of the puzzle. Now, let's talk about the Pacific Blob, a massive, mysterious mass of unusually warm water stretching from Alaska all the way down to California. This isn't just a small patch, it's a vast area, sometimes spanning hundreds of miles, and it's been puzzling scientists since it first appeared. The blob is a striking example of how the ocean can behave in unexpected ways, with far-reaching impacts on weather, marine life, and even coastal communities. This isn't a short-term event. The blob can linger for months, or even years, raising ocean temperatures by several degrees above normal. That extra warmth doesn't just stay in the water, it radiates upward, changing the atmosphere above and setting off a chain reaction that can affect weather patterns across the entire region. The blob acts almost like a giant space heater for the atmosphere, releasing heat and moisture into the air. This extra energy can fuel stronger, wetter storms, making them more intense and sometimes more frequent than usual. It's a powerful force that can reshape entire seasons. It can also create a stubborn high-pressure ridge, which acts like a wall in the atmosphere, diverting the jet stream and changing where storms travel. This shift can have dramatic effects, sometimes bringing rain to places that are usually dry, or blocking storms from reaching areas that desperately need moisture. Sometimes the blob blocks storms from hitting the west coast, leading to dry spells and drought. Other times, it steers storms north or south, causing unusual weather patterns and making it hard to predict what will happen next. When La Niña's cool waters and the blob's warmth overlap, things get even more complicated. The interaction between these two powerful forces can create unpredictable and sometimes extreme weather. The blob can enhance the moisture in storms, leading to record-breaking snowfall in some areas, or it can block cold air and precipitation, leaving other regions unusually dry and mild. It's a tug-of-war between two powerful ocean forces, each trying to shape the weather in its own way. The outcome is often a mix of surprises, with some areas getting drenched while others miss out entirely. The result? Who gets a wet winter and who stays dry is up for grabs. The balance can shift quickly, making it a challenge for forecasters and communities alike. This year the blob's position and strength could be a real game-changer, tipping the scales in unexpected ways and influencing everything from rainfall to snowpack. It's a wild card that meteorologists are watching closely, knowing that its unpredictable nature could have big consequences for the months ahead. The polar vortex, often misunderstood, but crucial for winter weather. It's not a storm or a single event, but a vast, persistent circulation of icy air high above the Arctic. This swirling system is a key player in shaping the winter season across the northern hemisphere. It's a swirling mass of cold air over the North Pole, usually contained by strong winds. These winds act like a fence, keeping the coldest air locked in place, far from cities and towns to the south. When stable, it keeps Arctic air locked up, leading to milder winters for most. Cities across North America, Europe, and Asia can enjoy relatively gentle winter weather when the vortex is strong and steady. But if it weakens or wobbles, lobes of frigid air can plunge south, causing extreme cold snaps. These disruptions can send Arctic air barreling into places unprepared for such deep freezes. These outbreaks can last days or weeks, bringing record lows and major snowstorms. Cities may grind to a halt, and even regions used to cold can be caught off guard by the intensity. Sometimes La Niña is linked to a stronger vortex, but not always. Other factors like Siberian snow cover can disrupt it. The interplay between ocean temperatures, snowpack, and atmospheric patterns makes the vortex's behavior hard to predict. If the vortex stays strong, cold air remains up north. If it wobbles, expect Arctic blasts almost anywhere. The difference between a calm winter and a wild one can hinge on just a few shifts in the upper atmosphere. This winter, with La Niña and the blob in play, the vortex's behavior is a huge wild card. These climate forces can interact in unexpected ways, making forecasts especially challenging. It could override typical patterns and deliver surprises. Sudden snowstorms, dramatic temperature drops, or even stretches of unusual warmth could all be on the table. The state of the polar vortex will be key to how winter unfolds. Meteorologists are watching for any signs of instability that could signal big changes ahead. We'll be watching it closely, ready for whatever surprises the Arctic might send our way this season. So, what does this mean for North America? The Pacific Northwest and British Columbia could see a colder, wetter winter, amplified by the blob, bringing heavy rain and mountain snow. The Rockies are likely in for consistent snowfall and colder temperatures, great for ski resorts and water supplies. The southern U.S., California, the Southwest, and Gulf Coast will likely be warmer and drier, raising drought concerns. For the northern U.S. and Great Lakes, expect a mixed bag, colder temps, more lake-effect snow. But the storm track is critical. The battle between La Niña and the polar vortex will decide if it's a cold but manageable winter, or one with Arctic outbreaks. A stable vortex means cold, but not brutal. A wobbly one could bring deep freezes and major storms. Each region's fate depends on how these forces interact. It's a complex puzzle with high stakes for everyone. Stay tuned for updates as the season unfolds. La Niña isn't just a North American story, it's global. In South America, it can mean drought for Peru and Ecuador, but wetter conditions for Brazil and Argentina. Australia and Southeast Asia often see wetter, flood-prone summers, while Indonesia and the Philippines face more rain and typhoons. Southern Africa can benefit from extra rain, but Europe's response is less predictable, sometimes colder in the north, wetter in the south. La Niña reshuffles the global weather deck, affecting agriculture, water, and economies worldwide. It's a reminder of how interconnected our climate is. This winter, the ripple effects will be felt far beyond our borders. here's where things get tricky. Uncertainty. With La Niña, the Pacific blob and the polar vortex all in play, their interactions are unpredictable. Think of them as musicians without a conductor, sometimes in sync, sometimes clashing. La Niña wants to push storms north. The blob can add moisture or block them. The polar vortex can unleash Arctic air at any time. The result, a winter full of surprises, mild spells, sudden deep freezes, and abrupt pattern shifts. Regions could swing from warm and dry to cold and snowy in a matter of weeks. This is why forecasts focus on probabilities, not certainties. The only guarantee is change. Meteorologists will be tracking every twist and turn. Stay prepared for a dynamic, unpredictable season. Not all La Niñas are the same. Strength matters. This year's event looks weak to moderate, meaning its grip on the jet stream is looser. That opens the door for the Pacific blob and polar vortex to have a bigger say. A weak La Niña means more atmospheric wobble. Storm tracks can shift, and weather can swing wildly. The northwest might still be wetter, but with more dry spells. The south could see a few surprise storms. History shows weak La Niñas bring unpredictable winters, sometimes classic, sometimes mild. The blob's warm waters could fuel big storms even if La Niña is weak. And if the polar vortex wobbles, it could dominate the season. This winter's forecast is more nuanced than usual. The balance between these forces will define what we experience. Expect surprises. As winter approaches, past years with similar setups offer clues. Winters like 2017-2018 brought big snow to the Rockies and wild temperature swings elsewhere. In 2020-2021, a polar vortex split brought historic cold to Texas late in the season. The lesson: winter's character can change dramatically, even late. Watch Pacific sea surface temperatures. Is La Niña strengthening or staying weak? Is the blob growing or shifting? These trends set the stage for the season. Also, keep an eye on the Arctic stratosphere for signs of a polar vortex disruption. Early Siberian snow and tropical patterns can hint at a coming cold outbreak. We'll keep tracking these signals and update you every step of the way. Stay tuned for your local forecast. This winter will be one to watch.